Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Day One Deo. So this is another practice exam, practice question for CKAD, and let's start it. So before we talk about the problem and task, just on a call out here, this practice question has two tasks, and in real exam also you'll have pretty much one or more task you will be having it for a problem. So this one has two tasks here for a problem. All right. So before we jump on, just I'm setting up my environment to make sure that we have everything aligned. And you can see here, I also open my Kubernetes documentation and CLI commands here. Perfect. So there are two tasks incomplete. We're going to focus on this. Let's get on our first task. Okay. So if you see here, the first task is expose an application with a node port service. Perfect. Then we're going to talk about putting in some network access between a pod via network policies. Okay. So let's start with our first one, where we're going to expose our application to a node port service. So deployment called Willow and under Buffy namespace, expose this deployment port 8082 and target port is 80. That's perfect. So let's see what all we have under pods, services, deploys, under namespace, Buffy, before we do anything. Okay, perfect. We have a one deployment and one pod under this. Okay, now we have to create a service. So this is you can see that you can create a service and you can do it that way. But generally, what I do based on my experience, I try to do an expose. Sorry, I shouldn't have created. I do an expose because it's exposing a port. So for this deployment, so definitely I'll use this. And if I see here under expose, if you see here creating a replica set, this one, and exposing an Nginx controller, which this is not the one we're going to do it. And pod, we are exposing it. Our scenario is a deployment expose. So that's not the scenario. We have to get on it. And okay, perfect. This here, there's a deployment here. We have it. So we can do all the stuff. So the one catch, which I think this command, based on looking at, I don't think they provided some service name, how to do that. Let's see, there should be a, I'm just looking at newly created object. Okay, I think name is the right one. We're going to use it, but just make sure that we'll create a YAML file and we'll see everything we have it. Okay, so let's get on our part. We did enter the context. Perfect. Create alias, which is a standard for here. Which I need to do it. Now let's create expose. Oh, it's not create, it's expose command. I think just want to make sure that, okay. Yes, it's expose, not a create. So I'm doing a deploy, which is a deployment is a short abbreviation is a deploy. I hope you're aware of that. So deployment name, Willow, and I'm going to provide a namespace, which is a Buffy. Okay, till now it's a standard, pretty much everyone knows it. Now let's create a name, which is going to be a service name. The service name, it says Willow-SVC. Perfect, this is no issues. And it's called a node type, so it's going to be type. Okay, there you go, type. And it should be lowercase or uppercase. Just do a quick checkout. Type. Oh, perfect. It's a node uppercase. Okay. Node. Oh, there is a. I missed a one hyphen. Okay. Okay. Now we did a node type has been called out. Now, what else we need to do is we need to create a port and we need to target port. Okay. Let's see. Port equals 80. Do we have a target? Oh, there is a target port. I'm on the same page. Target port. Target port is 80. Oh, I did a mistake. Okay. The port is 8082. So let's create a YAML file before we generate anything. Uh, try run equals to client, and I'm gonna create within a service name because this is a service we are exposing of or a deployment. So I'm gonna create within service name. Perfect. VI below. Let's see that. Make sure that everything we have it. The port especially 8082 we got it. That's perfect. No issues on that. We got a port TCP configured. Service app below. Not worried. Service name we got it. I think perfect. No issues. I don't see anything. All right. Perfect. We have everything aligned with the project. Let's do apply. Should work. Now let's do a verify. It should work. Perfect. We are aligned to that. That's great. We we are good on this part. Okay. Now let's get on our second part where we're going to create an egress. Does it say egress? Or Niles under namespace. Niles. Okay. Let's see what all we have it. Pods, SVC, deploy, and under namespace, the alias. Okay, there are 3 pods are running. Perfect, no issues. Let's see, because this is a network policy, so I'll add a network policy also. Network, well, I see why. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 network policies. That's excellent. So let's see all our network policies. Needs to be able to reach AP1, AP2. Okay. So let's look into our, because it has to reach out to AP1, AP2. So I'll look at this 2 first, then we'll go for other part, okay? All right, so describe. I'll call out a network policy. Let's see a policy. Allow API-1 under a namespace. We have to define it. All right, so if I scroll up this one, okay. So most of the stuff looks normal. I don't see anything. So let's see 2, and let's do a diff on that. What is our diff? I see it here. Okay, port selector API1, port selector API1 equals to true. Okay, this one, I think port selected, we have to copy this. Just yeah, this is the only issue I see it. Now let's look for our 3. Okay, 3 also I see the same thing. And finally, look for deny one. I think there is a one deny all. Just want to make sure that we did not had any deny, any default deny, did not exclusively called out. Default deny, they did not called out exclusively. Okay, I don't see any default exclusively connected, denied. Okay, so the easiest one I see that here is, let's call out, we're going to do this in edit or X, A, and D, E, R. And let's open this. And I think, let's see whether we have any labels. Okay, no labels. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll add a labels to this one. So that will add labels. We're going to do this. I hope you remembered we did this label name API1 access. I'll go over with you again if you want before we execute it. Okay, API 2 access. Oh, if I save it, it's gonna execute it. I should have done it. Okay, okay. If I save it, I totally forgot. We did an edit instead of we should have exported. That's fine. Not an issue. So if you remembered, we did this uh, here. API equals to true, port selected. This is the one which we technically added under labels. So any pod has this as part of the labels. Automatically we're gonna get that ingress network policy is going to enable to access the pods. So now let's do quick checkout, whether we should do a verify. I think verify somewhere. I'll do history. What's the 121? 21. Oh, I did do it by 13. Okay. Yeah, I forgot the command. Executing it. Okay, perfect. I hope learned something new on, especially on network policies and exposing a service or a deployment. All right, I'll come back in next video and we'll discuss on another practice. Meanwhile, please subscribe, Dev and Dev.